Hey, baseball fans, welcome back to this week's edition of the MLB podcast. I'm Evan Mathias, joined today by Michael Hugall. What do we got on tap today?
Well, it is Jackie Robinson Day around the MLB, that significant number 42 that broke baseball's color barrier, and it's always great that we're able to celebrate it every April 15th, Evan.
I just wish it was a little bit later in the season. It's still cold to go to the ballpark in a lot of places. A little bit chilly.
Well, he endured a lot during his time, so I'm pretty sure fans can forget the the 40 degree or 50 degree weather that we're seeing.
Fair point. Okay, big news on tap today. The Detroit Tigers off to a really hot start this year. Cabrera just stupid on fire.
Yeah, through 30 at bats. I mean, over 500 to start the year. Ridiculous.
Batting over 500. This offense is on fire. JD. We talked about this a couple weeks ago. He started right where he left off. He's got 4 home runs already, and they play tonight for Game 3 of 3 in Pittsburgh. I expect another one out of him tonight.
Yeah, absolutely, Evan. And I mean, you talk about JD Martinez and just the element of clutch he brings to the lineup. Last year, 8 home runs hit from JD Martinez in the 7th inning on April 14th, it would have been, so yesterday, hitting one in the 9th inning to bring the Tigers that much closer to deadlocking the Pittsburgh Pirates. However, fell a little bit short, but I love what I see from JD Martinez.
2 nights ago, last night they won 2-0. Actually, Shane Green, a huge pitching outing for him.
There you go.
Good for him. David Price said yesterday, did you see his tweet?
I did not.
Something along the lines of showing every other pitcher how it's done. Hashtag Shane Green, I like it. A little bit of a concern for me is the not so far productive V-Mart. It's kind of tapered off a little bit.
You know, it's tough. Anytime you're going into the off season, you have a knee surgery so close. There's going to be some, time to heal. I don't think he should be worked into as many at-bats as he has been getting. I think, you bring him in off the bench to pitch hit. They did that a couple days ago. I thought that was smart. But you really want to limit his activity right now so that when the dog days of July and August come and they get ready for the playoffs, V-Mart is healthy and he's ready to go.
How about sticking with the Central, the American League MLB leading Kansas City Royals?
I mean, what more is there to say about them? Got a lot of young talent. Lorenzo Cain in the 9-hole. That is the definition of a second leadoff right there. A little bit of talk has been going into that lineup and just how it's formed. A lot of it is just strategic. I mean, you have Alcides Escobar leading off, and then Mike Moustakas, not normally would be a number 2 hitter, but in this situation, it's working. It's allowing him to see more fastballs and start getting on base a lot more. And then you have a guy like Eric Hosmer as well. Kendrys Morales, who they got from the, I believe it was the Seattle Mariners or the LA Angels. I mean, he's bounced around the AL a lot. He's been hitting on fire. 9 runs, actually, he has scored in this season.
Tied for 3rd in the MLB.
Yeah, 12 hits on the season, too, for Kendrys. So, it's a powerful lineup. It's very underrated, but powerful.
It doesn't surprise me their hot start. I don't know if it's going to keep going. I don't know if they're going to win the Central this year. I'd like to say the Tigers are going to win it just because they're on fire right now, too. Kind of a slip-up in Pittsburgh the other night. But moving on, you look at the Jays. They did a lot in the offseason. They bring in a guy like Russell Martin. Hasn't really panned out for them yet. They're 4-4.
Yeah, but I think what Alex Anthopoulos and that management did with Russell Martin is the fact that, look, he's been around the NL. He's caught some of the best pitchers in the game in LA,
That's what we talked about
in
couple weeks ago.
Pittsburgh.
Yep, absolutely.
They want to bring him in to kind of be able to control Daniel Norris, Aaron Sanchez, a lot of the guys in the bullpen. And I think it's paid off. Now you don't have to have Toley's salary with on that team right now. He's able to catch R.A. Dickey. Russell Martin is a 5-tool guy, Montreal, Quebec native, actually born in Ontario, moved to Quebec.
Yep.
But, I really like
Toronto
what I see
native.
from him.
Born in Toronto. Yep.
There you go. Toronto is in Ontario, is that correct?
Yeah.
I think so.
So what I talked about a couple weeks ago, the Yankees, not big and bad, 3-5. I am okay with this. Bottom of the AL East right now.
Yeah, and the thing with the Yankees is Masahiro Tanaka is pitching with a partially torn UCL. And for all of people who don't really follow baseball that much, a UCL is very important to a pitcher because without it, Tommy John surgery. When you get Tommy John surgery, you might not come back the same. So I applaud what he's trying to do. However, I think the smart thing for him to do is just, take some time, heal up a little bit before that injury becomes any more of a concern. other than that, I mean, CC Sabathia, he's not looking like, 2008 CC Sabathia anymore. He's declined in age. It's showing in his performance. And Nathan Eovaldi, yeah, sure, the guy throws 95 miles an hour, but he can't hit the broadside of a barn. It's ridiculous. So the pitching staff needs to shape up. I like Dylan Benitez in the bullpen. I think he's like mini Mariano. That's what I'll dub him as. And but a lot of youth and a lot of, we'll say, a rebuilding year for the Yankees this year.
And you talked about the Tommy John a little bit. Good to see good signs with Justin Verlander with the Tigers. He's going to be back in a couple weeks. It's what I'm hearing. Good that they gave him the time off early in the season. Let the guys rest. And you talked about this a little bit when you get into the heat of things in July, August, when it starts to really count. Mm-hmm. They're going to need this guy. So it's better to let him kind of sit out, even if it's the full month of April, a little bit of May. If he comes back as 2010, 2011, 2012, Justin Verlander pays dividends right away.
Absolutely. And with Justin Verlander, it's not so much the fact that people want him to return to that Cy Young winning MVP caliber Justin Verlander. He just needs to be consistent.
Yep, absolutely.
I expect, now that he's sat out this little bit, 15 wins, sure. 10 wins, okay. But right now, what the Tigers really need is another veteran arm in that bullpen. And not even in the bullpen, in that starting rotation. Move Alfredo Simon to the pen. Let him be your long relief guy. Shane Green, 8K.
Proved it yesterday.
Was it 8 innings he went, striking out 6? You need that on the rotation. Justin Verlander complements that, and I believe that when he comes back and he returns to form, that's healthy Tiger.
Verlander Price is an incredible 1-2. That's all the time we have for this week. For Michael Hugall, I'm Mathias. This has been the MLB Podcast.